Yeah, first I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the Apostle El's great millstone that were well. Salutations to the Hakim, teaching words, spirit, and truth, and blessings to the elect. And all unfettered Israelites scattered worldwide, pray us to be saved. Now, I come with another lesson, and a quick lesson. I always say that, but I'll try to make it quick. And basically, this is a World War II and World War III comparison. Alright? Because there's 3 world wars in the Bible. And Ecclesiastes 1:9 says there's nothing new under the sun. The whole conflict with Russia and Ukraine is going to escalate and snowball into a world conflict. And once it snowballs and one side backs another, that's how World War II started, you see. So we're going to watch a few clips here now, but let's go to scripture first. Alright, to prove that there's 3 world wars in the Bible. Now the word woe means destruction. So there's 3 woes in the Bible. Alright, this is Revelation chapter 9 verse 12. One woe is past, and woe means destruction. Alright, let's look it up, the word woe. Woe meaning. Alright, let's look it now. Woe. Alright, woe means big problems or troubles. The country, gives you an example, a country has been beset by economic woes, economic destruction for the past decade. Alright, so the word woe means destruction, you know, right? Bad times, you know, etc. Alright, let's look up the definition. Let's see what else it says, because you have to know the meaning of words, because the apostles on down, double honors unto them, they teach us that, man. They have to know the meaning of words. Alright, so look at the word woe there. It says great sorrow or distress. Okay, and then I think when I was typing it in, whoa, Bible definition, there you go. Let's see now. A condition of deep suffering from misfortune, affliction, or grief. Alright, ruinous trouble, calamity, affliction. See, and that's what war brings. Alright, so there's 3 woes prophesied in the Bible. Revelations 9 and 12. One woe is past, the First World War, and behold, there come 2 woes, 2 world wars more after. So World War One started in 1914, and it ended in 1918 when the Germans surrendered. And the Germans were not even losing that war; they were really winning the war. You know, they had submarines and their technology was good. But what tipped the balance was the British went and said to the Americans, the Zionists said to the British, look, you can win this war. Well, you can win this war, the First World War. All right, if you give us Palestine, all right, our homeland, Israel, because I think it was a British protectorate at the time, so it wasn't really their land. Said, look, if you give us Palestine, we will make sure that America comes into the World War One and is on your side, and then you'll win. And they did that, and it's called the Balfour Declaration. So basically our homeland, they handed it over. All right, the Balfour Declaration. Alright, and that's what started this whole conflict that's in our homeland now. Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War in its support. In its announcing during the First World War, announcing its support to establish a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. There you go. And that was the aim of World War One. Alright? And they achieved that aim. So they got that piece of paper, etc. Alright? World War Two was to make sure that people, from Europe, who was getting persecuted, the Jewish people, alright, make Europe unsafe, so now they can go back to their so-called homeland in Palestine. And so this Balfour Declaration got the ball rolling, and it's all Bible prophecy. Now we're going to watch this clip, alright, because there's 3 world wars in the Bible, but also you have to understand the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, the people behind the shadows, the so-called illuminated ones. They've planned 3 world wars to bring forth this new world order, and we're going to hear about it now by this guy, this professor. And by the way, Albert Pike is was a top Freemason. The highest degree in Freemasonry was 33 degrees, and who died and rose again at age 33? Yahushua. See, all of that secret society, all that stuff, it's all catered towards coming against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's how we know that this Bible is real, okay? And Albert Pike was one of the founders of the KKK, and there's a statue of him in America. I kid you not, you can look it up.
In which he propagated that there should be a world order, a one order where all nations are under the control of one central organization. And in order to achieve this, they planned, and there are numerous quotes for this, so I put a number on the screen, because some will say, I don't trust this, I don't trust that, I don't trust the other. There are references down there, there are references up there, there will be references in other slides, so it comes from different sources. He said, and this was, by the way, on display at the British Museum, and can you see there, the First World War, to overthrow the power of the Tsars in Russia, protector of orthodoxy, and bring about an atheistic communistic state. Did that happen? Yes. That was written long before this event. Long before this event. This was written in 1871, but this war broke out in 1940. The Second World War, that's also written long before the event, to originate between Great Britain and Germany, to strengthen communism as antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture, and bring about a Zionist state in Israel. Did it achieve this objective? Yes. In fact, after this war, Israel, in its present form, was reinstated under the protection of Britain. Then, interestingly enough, the Third World War, a Middle Eastern war involving Judaism and Islam, and spreading internationally. It's fascinating. Is that on the cards, or what do you think? savagery and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the minority of revolutionaries would exterminate these destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, will receive the pure light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. The destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Wow, what a clever plan. So you rub the two systems which you create up against the other. You create atheism as an antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture. You have these two clash until they rub each other up, and then out of that you will get a new world order where you have a new religion which is far more esoteric and actually honors Satan. Isn't that a rather clever plan? Well, it's very successful. That is why Ordo ab Cao
Yep.
is the verse, if you like, that Freemasonry uses. This is one of their documents, remember, that I photographed in a Masonic document.
See, order out of chaos. See, so as you can see by that, it talks about order out of chaos. That's what they do. And out of the chaos of World War II, we got the UN. And what does the UN stand for? United Nations. So you can clearly see the plan here. Alright? But they don't understand that this is the Lord's movie and it's really his plan. Alright? And the Lord likes war. Alright? Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. There you go. So the Heavenly Father is not all sunshine and lollipops. He's merciful, yes, but he's a man of war, because when you do war, you can judge a whole group of people at one time, alright, for their sins. And that's why it's about being really serious about this truth, man, because war is coming, alright. It's definitely coming. Now we've got another clip here that I want to show you guys. Let me go forward a bit. Alright. Okay. Yeah, now we look at World War II, right? History is written by the victor. Right, but what happened in World War II? Well, we know about World War One. We know that the Germans, surrendered. They were ordered to pay 6,600 million in reparations, which destroyed the economy, etc. And they took chunks of Germany, like Strasbourg is in France, but it doesn't sound French. You know why? Because it was German. So they gave parts of Germany to the neighboring countries like France. They got the place called Strasbourg. The Polish got a place called Danzig, and the Czechoslovakia got a place called the Sudetenland, where 3 million German people were living in. So now, because of those sanctions, Germans are living under the authority now of the people they fought in World War One. And that was basically done by design, so they can start World War II. So we're going to have a look at it here. Okay. Alright, let's start here, shall we? That's right. Yeah, okay. Alright, this is about Danzig. There you go. See? See, there you go. So let's pause it there. So the Germans living in these areas, all right, underneath, their enemies like Polish and especially in the Sudetenland under the Czechoslovakian people started to persecute them, and it got so bad they started to murder and kill many of them. All right, so. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is exactly what's happening now today with Ukraine and Russia. Territorial dispute. All right, Russian-speaking people living in East Ukraine, in places like Odessa, Donetsk, and so forth. And the Russians said, well, we're coming to help save our people, this, that, and the other, and also to. They know that Ukraine's getting close to NATO, so that's like having an American air base, right next to your door. So if they wanted to launch, so it's very similar to what's happened in World War II. So let's keep going. See, look at this. Hands tied behind their back. Look, rapes. Yep. So you can see what happened there. They were getting slaughtered so badly, but because Poland had a deal with France and Britain, a guarantee to say, listen, if the Germans invade, France and Britain will help the Polish. That was an agreement. So they used Poland, and guess what? When the war happened, the British abandoned them. Really, they allowed certain Polish people to flee to the UK. But as for sending troops, they didn't do anything. Poland was flattened within a month. That shows you how wicked this devil is, man. Let's forward that bit. Alright. See? horses, you know.
therefore resolved to speak to Poland in the same language in which Poland has addressed us for such a long time.
But they're on horses, they got tanks. There you go. The ringleaders of all the people that were killing the Germans. See, Germans thanking the soldiers for saving them. Okay. See, they're on the rest. They were killing them.
Poland, for the first time in history, has shot at regular soldiers upon our territory.
There you go, man. So, as you can see from that clip, alright, the Germans basically were trying to help their people, you know, and basically when they went into Poland, alright, and that was on September the 1st. 2 days later, the Prime Minister of England, Chamberlain, not Churchill took over from Chamberlain, said that, listen, the Germans withdraw their troops immediately by 11 o'clock tonight. They haven't done it, so we are at war with Germany. So hang on, you go into a country to save your people that are clearly getting killed and persecuted, and literally 24 hours later you want them to withdraw their troops, and what business of it is it of yours? And that's what's happening today with the whole Ukraine thing. Alright, the whole Ukraine thing, why is it the EU countries and the UK are interfering and giving them weapons? It's got nothing to do with us. So this is what happened back then, and it's happening now. Alright, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9, the thing that have been, that is which shall be, and that which is done, that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So that's how World War II started. The territorial dispute, alright, proxy wars, and then boom, you know, invasion, and then because Germany invaded them, France and Britain declared war against them, and then all these other countries start picking sides. Are you with us, or, you know? And they're doing that with the whole Ukraine thing. They're trying to pressure countries like South Africa, who say they're neutral, alright, to condemn them. You know, they're trying to bully them, you see? And they were bullies back then, and they're bullies now, man. But now they're weak, alright? Them small countries don't respect the UK and America no more, because they're weak. The Lord is zapping them, you know? There's no fear of them no more. They're nothing, okay? So, we've got that out of the way as well, alright? So, the time we're in is a very serious time, alright? Judgment is coming, man, alright? World War 3. So we have to really dive into this truth and try to be on fire for this truth, man, you know? So when all the bad times come, you know, we don't have no regrets, man. We don't want to have no lukewarm spirit. The Lord will spew you out of his mouth, myself included. Ecclesiastes 1:3 verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Alright? A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up. A time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn. And that's what's going to happen. They're mourning already. These people over there in Ukraine. You know, now they're attacking Russia. Drone attacks in Russia. People are dying. Okay, a time to dance. Alright, time to wait to cast stones. Alright. Verse 6. There's a main point I want to do. Let's go. That's it. Ecclesiastes 3:8. A time to love and a time to hate. And hatred is here for us already. Everyone hates us. A time of war a time of peace. So while it's peacetime, we have to dig into this truth, man. Alright? Really work it, you know? So we have to labor in this truth, man. Okay? You know, Ecclesiastes 3 and 9. What profiteth he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? And when we labor, if we labor in his truth, the Lord is going to give us our reward. Alright? He's going to give us our reward because he's a man of his word. Okay? So you can see the similarities. That's how World War II started. See? And they don't bring these things up. Remember, history is written by the victor. But why does the Lord allow wars like this to happen? For judgment, man. For judgment. In a war, you can judge a whole different group of people at the same time, man. Okay? But the ones that the Lord has given an exemption, alright, a spiritual exemption, alright, the Lord's going to have angels protected around us during that time if we're in this truth. You know, if we don't take the MOTB, you know, if we still have faith in Yahweh, Yahshua, keep our integrity, the Lord's going to get us through all of this, man. Okay? Alright? Ezekiel 39 and 20. So why does God make wars happen? Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith the Lord God. Alright? 21. And I will set my glory among the heathen. Heathens are non-Israelites. And all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed. And that's right, they're going to see it and feel it, man. And my hand that I have laid upon them. See, so the Lord is stirring up all these wars. So the Lord is doing, he makes wars for judgment, man. Alright? For judgment. And there's lots of horrible things happen in wars, man. Okay? Women, I mean, go and look up the German women. They went through hell. Many of them, you know, were ravished. You know? Multiple times. More than once. You know? Especially when the Soviets came in. And they were beating German people up. Not even the American soldiers. When big mobs and crowds would beat up certain Germans in Europe. You know, or the collaborators or whatever. They would just stand there and watch. So they're just as guilty, but that happens in war. Okay? Alright.
I am speaking to you in heavenly truth.
Yep.
This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note, stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, that they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland, a state of war this week.
Okay.
I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received,
Yep.
and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
See? All of that could have been avoided. But the reason why it happened, because it's the Lord's will, that's why. Alright. I see a little bit more. Because history is written by the victor. They act like the Germans want to take over the world. You know? Rubbish. They took over first, invaded countries like Holland, Belgium, France, to control it, so that the Allies cannot launch missiles from there. If you control a country, then how can they control? If they control France, then the French can't shoot missiles from France. You know, pure logic. Nothing about trying to dominate the whole world. Madness.
Hitler didn't want a general war. What he wanted, and I have no doubt about this, he wanted a war to destroy Poland.
Yep.
That he was prepared for. For a moment, he was disconcerted to find that he might be involved in war with Britain and France,
See?
because this had never been his plan. He had always regarded Britain as his natural ally.
There you
But
go.
in the
Yep, they did. How many people died in this war? So over 60 million. You know? See? God of Israel, he likes war. He judges the enemies of Israel. And even us. For example, in 70 AD, well, 66 AD, where he had wars with the Romans. That was the Lord judging us, man. And that's when we had to flee into Africa, you know? Now, last clip, and then we're going to close. Okay? To show you that what's happening now, alright, with the whole Ukraine-Russia thing and everyone coming against Russia is just Bible prophecy, and it's the same thing that happened back then.
People across Eastern Europe. His tactics: infiltrate the former Soviet states and stockpile Russia's weapons supply. Moscow correspondent Oliver Bullough says that President Vladimir Putin is on a mission to rebuild his country to its former glory and reverse the events of 1989, when the Russian Empire dissolved and was left in tatters. For Russia, national intervention is the only means of salvation for the abandoned peoples of the Russian Federation who are scattered across the former Soviet states, and this spells bad news for the rest of us. On February the 27th, 2014, 6,000 Russian troops marched across the Crimean Peninsula in Ukraine and seized military bases, government buildings, and political strongholds. Almost immediately, Russia called a referendum which voted in favor of Crimea joining the Russian Federation. The West denounced the referendum as illegitimate, but it didn't matter. The damage had already been done. Putin was one step closer to fulfilling his dream of the unification of the Russian people.
We need to put a lot of pressure on Russia at the table and not on the war field.
The recent activity in Eastern Europe sounds all too familiar to a series of military events that occurred in the 1930s.
Yep.
Ideological revenge, the flouting of international laws, and military expansion. Putin will stop at nothing to rebuild his 20th century superpower. And history has a habit of repeating itself.
That's right. See? Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. There is nothing new under the sun. So that's why we need to know this history. Alright? So we can not make the mistakes. Because be honest, back then they only had like radio and maybe like the TV they had was like going to the cinema, you know. Didn't have TVs back then, you know. I think back there in Germany they only had like one newspaper or two newspapers control the information. Now we've got multiple sources, man. Alright, so we need to look these things up because they gave deceptions and those deceptions destroy people in this war. Okay.
Putin called the collapse of the Soviet Union the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century. To Putin, it was an almighty failure, and rescuing those abandoned Russian minorities in former Soviet states is a political necessity. Which is why, in August 2014, Russia ignored EU sanctions and invaded Ukraine. Rewind the clocks 75 years, and you can see something similar is happening in Central Europe. Carefully, Nazi Germany is taking Europe in its grip, and for the time being, without even firing a machine gun. Fearful of provoking another war, Europe appeased Hitler in his demands to reunify the German people. With a little hindsight, it seemed unfair to blame Germany alone for the start of World War I.
That's true.
So what if Hitler wanted to rectify the disintegration of his country? After the First World War, Germany was divided, and parts of the country on the German-Czech border were given to Czechoslovakia. This area was called the Sudetenland. And in what appears to be a reasonable request, Hitler was given permission to take back parts of the Sudetenland that were predominantly inhabited of German-identified people.
Just like Russia
As we all know, he
and
didn't
Ukraine.
stop there. Soon Germany had taken over the whole of the Sudetenland, breaking international law. But not wanting to rile Hitler, the Allies just stood and watched. It wasn't until Germany marched into Czechoslovakia that the Allies realized they had made a terrible mistake. That's exactly what's happening today in Ukraine. Russia's annexation of the Crimea led to an outright invasion of western Ukraine. Despite a ceasefire agreed in Minsk in September 2014, 1914, Russia marched on, and like the Allies in 1938, the West did nothing.
European peace is what I am aiming at.
Britain, Germany, and the USA have ruled out using force to stop Russia taking over Ukraine because they fear a nuclear war. In the meantime, Russia was only getting stronger, just as Nazi Germany did in the 1930s. Polish statesman Lech Walesa was responsible for helping end the Cold War. He believed that Putin's involvement in Ukraine could result in the death of tens of millions. In his own words, how can we win if he is boxing and we are playing chess? If we leave it too late, could we have another third Reich on our hands? Putin has announced that by 2020 his country will claim military superiority over the West. The Russian military modernization project is well underway, which plans to put Russia at the forefront of modern warfare technology. Military officials from the Global Security Foundation, Plowshares, have reported that already Russia possesses 8,500 nuclear warheads. That's 1,000 more than the United States.
There you go. And why is that? Because the Lord wants them, all right, to use those missiles, and they are going to use those missiles and destroy America, which is Bible prophecy, all right? So history is just repeating itself. So I hope this edifies and you get a good idea of what's happening with the whole Ukraine thing, you know? Well, this is Matthew 24:6. Remember when the Lord was with the disciples, he said, and ye shall hear wars. You shall hear wars and rumors of wars. And we have wars going on right now. Sudan, over there in Niger, they just did a coup, kicked out the prime minister, the French, up in arms because they want to put him back because they get gold and uranium from there. You see? All right. So there's rumors that might turn into a war. So wars and rumors of wars. See ye that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay. And Russia is in the center of this Third World War. All right. This is Isaiah 13:17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes. And if you look at the Medes and you put it in Google and click images, the landmass that will come up is the landmass of Russia. So this is what, it's not talking about the ancient Medes, it's talking about the people who are in there today, which is mainly those Edomites, those white Russians. All right. I will stir up the Medes against them, America, which shall not regard their silver, and as for their gold, they shall not delight in it. Yeah, nothing they can do that's going to stop them from being so angry and wicked, you know, vengeful towards America in the Third World War. They're going to shoot missiles on it because the Lord wants them that. Verse 18, their bows, which is a metaphor for those nuclear missiles, also shall dash the young men to pieces. They shall have no pity on the fruit of their womb. Their eyes shall not spare their children. Yeah, so those nuclear missiles are going to burn people up, man, over there in America. So that's why the MOTB, anyone takes it, you're going to be in them nukes. All right. And verse 19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. And a modern day America is called Babylon the Great in the Bible, but there's many times where it talks about them being the Chaldees, you know, and you know, and others, because back then, the ancient world, the Chaldees were into a lot of witchcraft, and that's what America is, full of witchcraft. All right. So I hope that was edifying to show you that, listen, there's nothing new under the sun, and to know that this war is around the corner. So keep praying, stay strong, stay in the Lord, man. You know, because believe me, we don't want to be hit by those nukes. We want to be in them chariots, looking down at those nukes hitting America and praising Yahweh Shem Yeshua as we do it. So I give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yeshua and double honor to the Apostle Elder Nelson and real well. Salutations to the Akim, teach word Syrian truth, and blessings to the elect 1/3 Israelites scattered worldwide, predestined to be saved. Stay strong, stay in the Lord. Shalom.